Just quickly, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
By the way, Tom Brady is 11-5 all time against Peyton Manning. Only 2-2 in the postseason, I'll give you that, but 11-5 all time.
Really? Do we want to do this? I mean, Brady. That's my first old man feed. Brady the last 5 years. I mean, that's really, it's amazing. Okay, we'll just go Brady from last year. I don't give a damn. I know Brady that's special what he did last year. I don't know what else to say. The damn guy's throwing laser beams around the field still. He's 47 years old. He's 43, I know. But still, it's everything he's done the last few years. He's the first to break down all these barriers as far as this deep into the 40s, this consistently good, doesn't really get banged up or hurt. I mean, it's pretty damn amazing. So I don't want to pick this because it's the obvious thing here, but I mean, Brady, just everything he's done here just in the recent past is absolutely phenomenal and mind-blowing.
You initially said the last 5 years for Brady,
yeah.
And my thought is I should just pick the next 5 years for Brady.
Seriously, right. This year will be the great feat. I know.
Because it's not going anywhere. No. And I think he is going to play more than 2 more seasons. 2 more years would put him at the expiration date that he has abided by for a long time. He used to say 10 more years, then it became 45. I don't know. I think he's going to play beyond that. Jason Light has left the door open for him to play until he's 50, and based on how he played last year, maybe he can. I'm going to start with Peyton Manning setting the single-season passing yardage record at an old 37.
Yeah.
Not a young Tom Brady 37. That was a rickety old 37 for Peyton Manning. I mean, just 2 seasons later, he barely held his body together for the finish line of the season. And I think that makes what he did in 2013, setting the single-season passing yardage record, even more impressive. How close he was to everything falling apart. To have that kind of production is amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing, you're right. He didn't do it with, just unbelievable physical ability. Of course, could still throw and timing and rhythm and all those type of things, but just always got them in the perfect play. It was always like a scheme screw over. You're like, oh my gosh, he audible to this, and this guy's wide open. And it's the easiest touchdown you've ever seen. And I mean, he could have thrown for 65 touchdowns that year. That's really what you got to remember. How many games did he come out with 5, 6, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter because they blew people out because they scored points at such a fast pace? So I'm with you. That was a good one by you.
And then he was super competitive, bro. That's one thing that I said, that I ain't saying Peyton wasn't competitive, but you just could feel it. I feel like you just could feel that competitive nature, just hitting off Tom, man. What's a little story or a situation where you seen Tom just a super competitive person in that nature right there?
So it was probably the first time we played the Chiefs. We losing, nothing going right. And then we ended up getting a big play on defense. The offense get the ball back. They go down and score. You see the fire in the offense. They moving the ball. They come up to the sideline. TB come over. Like, man, we got y'all. We got it going now. Just get us a couple of stops. You're going to bring it back for us. And then, that passion, you can say it, all the time. And that's what I think you say, the difference between Peyton and Tom was, you can see the passion for the game. Peyton Cole, he going to get it done.
Right.
But he don't show it as much.
He's more calm and collected.
Yeah. So Tom go back out there, he doing his thing. And we fell short a little bit because we couldn't get the offense back to the last possession. But, Tom, he been in every situation. He know exactly what need to be done, how to stay poised, and still had a fire to motivate the guys to get the job done. And that's what he been doing, like you said, in practice, where we killed them boys one day at practice. Tom brought them over to the side. Hey, brought the offense up, talked to the offense. I don't know what was said, but the next day they was at our decks that whole day, man. And, that's the competitive nature from practice and in the game.
Straight up, I love. That's the one thing, man. I love about Tom, man. Super, super, super competitive.
Peyton and I obviously had a great friendship over the years and still do. And one story that probably I don't think I've ever really told, maybe a few people, but one off season we got together to talk football for 2 or 3 days, just the two of us. And I took a lot of things from it, and we worked out together, and Peyton had his little script to work out that, I got to make 2 throws running right. And I said, what if you want to throw 3 running right? Well, I don't know, I just do 2. And it was 2 times, and the workout was so structured. It was a lot of fun. And, we were talking about game plan, and they used to run that little short under route.
Sure.
They called it dig.
Here we go. Y'all got a corner route. You got to dig.
And I always say, God, we didn't have that in our offense. And every, Marvin catching it, Reggie catching it, and I would say, God, how do you do? I said, what do you like that? Well, I like man zone. I mean, I just keep throwing it. And I'm like, well, what if they cover, that under finally? Then, and they used to call it dig.
I wondered that myself.
Then they used to call it dig. He goes, well, it's called dag. And dag would, they break out. And that's how Peyton ran it. He was going to make you, take it, and then once you took it, he had something else. And I think his ability to do that and see it real time on the field, he did that.
Tom, somebody one time asked Tony Dungy, hey, how would you stop Peyton in their offense? And Tony actually answered the question. He told him, hey, you got to mix it up. You got to play all these. I'm like, Coach, what are you doing?
While he was still your head coach.
So my question to you, Tom, is how do you stop this Bucs offense? What's the key? Be honest like Tony Dungy.
Let's lay it all out there for you guys. I like a lot of one-on-one coverage to Mike Evans and Antonio and Chris Godwin, and you just do the best you can. I think you got to just, try to come up and challenge us, and, just get up there and see what you can do and see if you can guard us. And, I think that's really been a style that's been successful. So I really encourage that. And, see if we can get open against man coverage.
Try that.
Mm-hmm. And then the one other great thing that I took from that, because I took a lot, and they had a protection, the counter hot protection. And they had a trap. It was basically a trap pass. Sometimes they pull the front side guard, and sometimes they pulled the center, and sometimes pulled the offside guard. And they'd run a play action, and they would throw a couple combinations off it. Well, after this meeting that I had with them down in Tennessee, I came back, and Billy O'Brien was coordinator, and I said, Billy, we got to put this protection in. And I think it was the lockout year, and we ended up putting this protection in. And I swear to God, off of that action, we do a lot of things. We absolutely call that protection at least 1 or 2 times a game against them. And Rob Gronkowski has probably 50% of his offensive production on that play. So to use that play against him, as well as to have basically Rob become a dominant player in the league off of that particular play is thanks to Peyton Manning.
So Tom did way better than you did getting information out of Peyton Manning. There's no question about that. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
But the play wasn't really sound. The protection isn't really sound. No. It's all on the quarterback to beat it and get it off. And if it doesn't look good, then just check out of it.
Yeah.
And
old school.
You guys have done that. And
then he would call old school, and it would go off back to a solid protection. So if he didn't get the look, then he would change the look, or he would try to pull someone else. Again, I think quarterbacks learn from other quarterbacks, and all you do is study and watch them. And I try to do what Brett did. I try to do what Peyton did. I'm still watching some of these young guys today going, God, how the hell did he do that? And then trying to make that a part of our game in some way.
I'm going to roll credits over a picture of Tom Brady to the people he has thrown a touchdown pass to. And it is unbelievable. From Larry Centers to Mike Vrabel to Dan Klecko to Tim Dwight to Mark Edwards, who I thought was a game show host, David Thomas, Lawrence Maroney, Doug Gabriel, Jermaine Wiggins, Sam Aiken, Kyle Brady, Matthew Mulligan, Brian Timms, a guy I can't pronounce, Bethel Johnson. Look at the names on FS1 of the people Brady has thrown a touchdown pass to. And here's what's remarkable. Most quarterbacks, the great ones, end up having 2 or 3 guys who are a majority of their touchdowns or greatness. For instance, Peyton Manning's remarkable. But Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and Dallas Clark. Those guys combined for almost 2,400 catches and 240 touchdowns. If you take the 3 best guys Brady's ever thrown to, now again, Peyton Manning, this is no shock at him, but if you look at Peyton Manning, he had guys like Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark for a long time. They gobbled up a lot of his success. If you look at Gronk, Randy Moss, and Welker, not even half. I mean, look at his all-star receivers. There's one Hall of Famer in there, Randy Moss. Again, just roll the credits of the people Brady has thrown a touchdown pass to. If you're watching on FS1, I got the list this morning. It's 65 guys. I've never heard of, I yellowed them, 11 of them. I mean, it's incredible. And I watch every game. I vaguely remember some of them driving through Foxborough. God, it's just incredible.
It's a good list of names.
And he probably this year wins the MVP at 39. I say this, who do you succeed with? What's your budget? Like, it's one thing if you make a movie in Hollywood and your budget's $250 million. James Cameron's got a little cabbage to spend. I mean, Brady's had nothing. He had Randy Moss for 2 years. Gronk's never healthy. Welker was a punt returner.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day. Thanks for watching.